There we go. So yeah, basically,
Right.
I think our plan should be this is like, you know, we have weekly calls where
Okay.
we invite people to these calls to learn about the platform. So what happens on these calls is, we say, okay, say for example, Saturday at 9 p.m. Pakistan time, we're going to have a call to learn more about the platform, right? People are going to be like, oh,
Okay.
what's this about? Blah, blah, blah. We say, hey, you'll learn about this on our platform, learning about multiple streams of income, whatever it is that you want to do, right? Then
Okay.
we do a presentation. So what this means is that, for example, you would open the call. So you'd be like, hey guys, thank you for coming to the call. We're going to learn more about financial literacy, right? And then you
Okay.
edify me, be like, this is my business partner and friend, DJ. He's a social worker, blah, 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 blah. And then I do the whole presentation. Okay. And then
Okay.
afterwards, we get into group chats with people or calls with people, a Zoom call, WhatsApp call, whatever it is, right? That's part of the system
Okay.
that we call PS3. So P is like inviting, S is the sharing the plan. So like a video or the presentation. And then the three is the three-way call, the three-way text, where we get in a private chat with, say, Bob, and be like, hey Bob, this is TJ, the guy who just did the presentation, la di da di da, and we answer their questions, right? Because a lot of people are going to
Okay.
have questions about, hey, I saw this about the presentation, what's that about, right? Because that could be the difference between someone signing up and not signing
Okay.
up, right? Because if someone's
Okay.
still confused, they're just gonna be like, forget it. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't want to do it. Right.
Okay. Okay.
So I think the first goal would be to, so we have a marketer on our team that have made
Okay.
QR codes, right? So I can send that
Okay.
to you. And what we can do is make little tiny flyers or business cards or something like that, right?
Okay.
Where
Acknowledged.
we dish them out, like put them on people's windshields, pin them up at coffee shops, whatever it is, right? And then people
Okay.
take it, or like, they scan and they
And I
invite
think
themselves.
that thing would be easy for us.
Super easy, because a lot of people, the thing is with this, especially if you've never been in a platform like this, or you've never even experienced, Forex, crypto, or NFTs for yourself, how are you supposed to talk about it if you don't know shit about it, right? So that's
Yes.
why, we have to just use a QR code, right? Because then it brings people to the website, it brings people to the Telegram chat, where people can read up for themselves. Okay, this is what the opportunity is about. I want to know more. So we give them like the appetizer, be like, okay, this is what you potentially will get, right? But then just
Yeah.
leave it
Right.
very vague and leave them hanging, right? And then
Okay.
they'll reach out to you or whoever, and they'd be like, hey, you know, Fahad, like, what's this thing that is about, right? And then you invite them to a call, or invite them to a chat or a video, so that
Actually, my sorry to interrupt again. Actually, my name is Shaban.
Javon.
So
Oh,
I'm using some different account
oh, okay,
of my brother Fat
all good, all
Qureshi.
good. But yeah, anyway, so whoever invites to the call, right? Um, that then the QR code will really tell people what it's about, and then afterwards, right? Because if we're handing out things, like say for example a business card, right? I
Yeah.
would put your information on there, like your WhatsApp, your Instagram, your Facebook, whatever it is, right? Because so what has happened is a lot of people have been using the QR code, right? Making their own business cards. So like your name, your email, whatever information you want to put on the business card or flyer, right? And if they're handing them out, then people know, okay, I need to reach out to TJ. I need to reach out to Bob, because that's what the information is, right? Versus like
Right.
if you just send a QR code, then no one knows who to sign up under, right? Because there's no information, right? So I think that's the easiest way, because it helps cut out all the mumble jumble in between, right? Because
Exactly.
it'll save a lot of time, because you don't have to do all the talking, right? People will will basically qualify themselves whether they're in or they're out, right? Because people are either going to be
Okay.
like, yeah, I want to learn more, or no, thank you, right? You don't have to
Good.
talk to them and be like, come on, bro, come on, sis, like, you got to do this, right? I'm not in the game of convincing people, so this actually helps
There
speed
is
up the
only
process.
yes or no.
Exactly. There's only two answers to this, right? Sometimes you're going to get those people that are maybes, but at least show them the information, right? Because here's the thing, a lot of people will take about 3 to 7 exposures before they sign up, right? Most people
Oh,
don't sign up on the first time. They need time to think about it. They need time to talk to their spouse. Maybe it's not the right financial time, whatever it is, right? But that's why, we tell people to stay organized, right? Make an Excel file, right? That way you can follow up, because the thing is, there have been people lately that have been signing up that were from 4, 6, even a year ago that I reached out to, right? So you never know when is the right timing for people. It's just having a,
exactly.
a nice list of people. And that's kind of what I think we can work towards, is like, number one, the QR code, and number two, just developing that list. We help each other out, you know, with those lists and stuff. And then who knows?
Okay, that's great. That's good for now. So let's talk about other discussion.
Yeah.
So how much packages you have? As you said to me, I have to pay to $50 a month or a one time. So tell me more about this. How much packages we have
Yeah.
actually?
Perfect. I'm actually going to just pull up the PowerPoint, but basically the startup fee is normally 235. So everything is in US dollars. Okay.
Okay, that's
Um,
great.
but people, so there's 4 packages that people will have access to. Okay. And so I'll just basically show you. um, Okay. Let me just share my screen here.
Sure.
Okay. So basically, mm, there's four academies. Okay. There's Forex, which is, anytime someone travels, right, they're participating in Forex. So if I come to Pakistan, I have to exchange the euro for the Pakistan dollar, right? And then so
Nice.
right then and there, people physically participate in Forex. So travelers actually don't know this, but like they're actually losing more money through that transaction, because you have to pay the fees to the currency exchange, you have to pay the drop, and like obviously the exchange place wants to make their money, the bank wants to make their money. So really you're paying way more. But here we're teaching people how to make money when the market goes up or down, right? Because with stocks, people are only making money when the stock goes up, right? If it
Exactly.
plummets, they're screwed.
Exactly.
HFX is more like the 1 to 15 minute trading, right? So basically what that is like you're in and out. Like you and I could be taking a few trades and we're done with our daily percentage, right? Because a lot of people have this misconception of like, oh, I'm going to get rich overnight, right? No. The thing is, like, people need to be patient. People need to be consistent. And the best part about this platform is like we have apps and educators that are going to help people on a daily occurrence, right? So someone like me, I knew nothing about Forex when I first started, right? But I just learned, because there's an academy section, there's a pip talk section, and there's a go live session, right? Which I'll get to in a second. But basically, HFX is 1 to 15 minute trading. So people who are super busy, like, for example, someone like you, where you have a lot of business, etc., right? You might not have a lot of time to really analyze the markets, analyze charts, stuff like that, right? And then
Okay.
DCX is crypto. So there's an app called Swipecoin, which I have. And basically what happens is I tell people stay signed into your app at all times, because you could be at a grocery store, walking your dog, whatever, and all of a sudden you get a notification to your phone. All you need to do literally is take 30 to 60 seconds and copy and paste that trade, which we help you do, right? We have PDFs and links when people
Okay.
first get started, right? Step-by-step process, because it's a lot of information, and especially someone who's brand new to like trading, who's never heard about it, right? everything's very structured, step by step, so that people can go on their own time, own pace, right? It's the same thing with the academy, where, you know, people will get their own username and password. Okay, that's number one.
Okay.
Number two, they'll start with the academy. So the academy is like the basic step by step, like what is Forex, the trading times, all that kind of stuff. These are only like 2 to 15-minute videos, right? And again, people do at their own time, right? It's not like, hey, you start today, you must finish the videos by the end of the week. No, like it's just like you go at your own time. The more you do, the more you understand, and the more you understand, the more you're gonna know what's going on during the live sessions, right? And then
Exactly.
people who are not interested in trading, there's the e-commerce side of things, right? So that's basically setting up an online drop shipping store where you don't physically have the product at your house, and then it gets sent to the manufacturer and right to the customer. Okay. So again, these are the 4 different academies that people get access to for $235 USD to start. And then it drops down to $175 a month after that. Okay.
Okay.
But then
Okay.
the goal would be this, right? Which we'll get into in a bit. But, you know, to help people not pay out of their own pocket again for the monthly subscription. So that could be covered either through profits or through a 2 and free scholarship. So what that means is if say you refer your brother and your cousin, right?
Okay.
They sign up, your next month is free, right? Or there's a
Okay.
third
Okay.
option where people can refer 3 or more people, and that's when the company pays for your subscription and they pay you, right? Which I'll get to at the end of the presentation,
Okay.
right? So basically, you know, the whole goal is to buy low and sell high, catch as many points as possible in a movement, right? The more points
Okay.
you collect, the more money you make, right? And obviously this depends on, you know, how much someone has in their account, right? Because we help people do almost like a what we call proper risk management, right? Because you don't want to blow, say for example, if you only have $50 in your account, you don't want to blow that in one trade, right? Because if it
Okay.
goes the wrong way, you're screwed. You've lost your $50, right? And then so the Forex Academy teaches people about Forex, right? Different currency pairs. And if you see at the top, there's different apps that people will have access to help them with their trading game. The harmonic scanner, HS, is basically, you know, artificial intelligence that scans the market for people. So literally it does all the
Okay.
work for you. And then you literally just have to find the certain numbers to enter into the app called MetaTrader 4 or
It's
MetaTrader.
like QR robot I told you before. It's just kind of like thing.
Similar, yeah. So basically, you know, the artificial intelligence scans the market. It's about 85% accurate, right? And then
Okay.
literally you just copy and paste the numbers, right? And once it hits the number, then you're out of the trade. You don't have to look at your phone the whole day or keep track of it. You'll know once it hits, right? Sometimes it might take a couple hours, it might take a day, depends on the really the markets, right?
Okay.
HFX, like I said, is the 1 to 15-minute trading, right? You want to find pairs that give you the greatest percentage of return, right? If I'm risking $10, I don't want to be only having like a 20, 30% return, because if the market goes the wrong way, I've just risked $10 to only make $3. Doesn't make sense, right? You want to at least have a
Right.
1-to-1 ratio or more. Okay.
That's nice.
Crypto, again, is collecting as many points as possible, right? Crypto is actually one of my favorites because it makes you the most money, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so you know,
But
there's
unfortunately, crypto is illegal in our country.
oh, okay. So we'll have to figure something out. But
Yeah.
basically, you know, swipe,
But
yeah,
people is still doing crypto in some still doing in our country.
okay. So it's just a matter of like not getting caught, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can say.
So the Swipe Coin app literally sends you signals, right? And these lately have been catching anywhere from 700 to 2,000 pips or points, right? So that's anywhere from $70 to $200, even on a small account, right?
Okay.
So that's what that's about. E-commerce is the store that I was telling you about. So literally anytime someone orders from your store, your phone will be like, hey, Bob just ordered a t-shirt from your store, whatever it is, right? And there's apps and educators that are going to teach you, how to do this, how to set up your store, how to price your products, how much to buy and sell them for, et cetera, right? And then, so
Okay.
everything's all on one website. A lot of people try and do this on their own, right? Using YouTube, Google, whatever it is, right? Might be successful a small percentage of the time, but here at least you get ongoing, education. There's different languages, there's different educators. So like some people who might relate more to crypto, they can focus on the crypto educators, right?
Okay.
And then the go live education every week. The schedule does not change unless the educator is sick or on holidays. But for the most part, if it says Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, Bob, the educator, would be on, right? And then you just
Okay.
plug in, and we help people decide, which 2 or 3 educators at the beginning fit their schedule the best, right? Because we don't want to overwhelm people by giving them 10 different educators, because they're going to get confused, because every educator teaches differently, has different strategies, right? So
Exactly. You're right.
yeah, so I only suggest 2 or 3 per to start, right? And you can always switch them. Like just because you start with 2 or 3 doesn't mean you have to stick with them the whole time, right? And then so
Okay.
the other good part about it is, like, let's just say you and I just missed this scheduled trading live session, right? For
Okay.
whatever reason, you can go back to the session because they're all recorded. So you'll see what Bob the educator taught today, right? But
Okay.
the goal about these live education is, like, you're learning, number one, how to read a chart. Number two, you're implementing what you're learning on the academy. So the vocabulary, like, okay, guys, I'm looking at this because we're on an uptrend, as an example, right? And then you'll know, okay, I'm probably looking for a buy, right? And then the educator will say and type out their trade idea during their live session. So these sessions can last anywhere from 20 minutes to a couple hours. It really depends on how the market is playing out, right?
Okay.
So that's the best part about that. And what I also suggest to people during the live session, right? So once you've started the academy, take notes of like different vocabulary, all that kind of stuff, so that when you're on a session, you can kind of flip through like, oh, okay, this is what Bob's talking about, blah, 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 right? And then also too, during the live session, I would write out, at the top, you know, um, which pair that you're looking at, and then also, what numbers to look at, so that you know when to enter and exit the trades, right?
That's nice. Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I suggest to people, just to kind of keep things moving and kind of keeping things, organized. Because if you're organized, you'll be able to enter the trade as fast as possible so that you can collect as many points as possible. Right. And then so
Okay.
you learn on your own time. Like I was saying, we'll help people choose 2 or 3 educators. And then that fit their schedule, because just because it works for you doesn't mean it works for your brother or your cousin. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
And then there's different strategies and weapons that people choose, right? So there's over 20 different apps that people can choose, because just because, say, for example, DeLorean, I can relate to, doesn't mean that you're going to relate to it. Maybe you relate more to Gold Cup. I don't know, right? So this is just like a, one of those things. But basically what you see in front of you is the harmonic scanner. Every single person, no matter what academy that they choose, have access to the harmonic scanner. Okay. So let's just say you decide to go with crypto, right? You're like, hey, I want to make money on crypto. Okay. You still have access to the harmonic scanner. Okay. The harmonic
Okay.
scanner, what this is, like I said, is artificial intelligence that scans the market for you, right? And if you see on the right-hand side, you'll see a bunch of different colors, right? The
Yeah.
red color is your stop loss. So what you would do is you would go into your MetaTrader 4 app and find whatever pair it is. So let's just say, for example, it's the euro to the US dollar, right? So you would find the euro to the US dollar in the app. Then you would enter the stop loss, whatever number that is, right?
Okay.
And then the blue number, which is your take profit, right? And then depending on, you know, what the harmonic scanner says, you'd either press the sell button or the buy button, right? And this is something you're going to learn in the academy. But in this case, on this picture alone, because D is at the top, you're going to go for a sell, right? Sell high,
Okay.
right? If you see D really, really high, you're going to be selling, right? Sell high,
Right.
buy low.
Buy
Something
low.
that, you know, you'll get used to when as soon as you start the process, right? And the other good part is you never start with real money right away. Most people start with what we call a demo account, fake money, monopoly money, right? For the first week or two,
Okay.
right? And then once they're
Right.
comfortable practicing, you know, either on a live session or through their harmonic scanner, then they're like, okay, I'm ready to go, TJ, 50 bucks, right? Because people could start with as low as $50 in their account, right?
Exactly.
People have this misconception of like, oh my gosh, Forex crypto, I need like thousands of dollars capital. No, it's the complete opposite, right? And we're going to help people compound their money so that eventually they can make those $1,000 trades or make those $1,000 a day, you know, things, right? And whatever. So that's kind of basically the platform. And then there's also apps on the Google Play Store and the Apple Store, right? So depending on if the person has an Android or an iPhone, we help them with that, right? Because we never want people to miss an opportunity on a profit, right? Because you're not going to lug your laptop around, you know, when you're going to do groceries or walking your dog, right? It doesn't make sense. So
Yeah. Right.
we have apps, and I always tell people stay signed into your apps so that you'll get those notifications. And then there's also Telegram chats that are going to remind people, hey, you know, depending on what academy they choose, but for example, I'm in crypto academy, right? So anytime a crypto educator is about to go live, it's like Nick is going on in 20 minutes, Mike is going on in 15 minutes, right? So that you know, because especially when you're first starting, you sometimes forget, hey, is Nick going on today or tomorrow, right? But these Telegram chats will actually, you know, remind you. And, you know, let's just say if the app is being under construction in Google Play or the App Store, the Telegram chats that you'll be a part of does the exact same thing. So let's just say a crypto educator sends a trade idea, right? Normally you'll get it on your Swipecoin app. You'll also get it on the Swipecoin Telegram chat that you'll be a part of, right? And not just
Okay.
that, but people will also get access to personal development. So there's two really big names that our platform is a part of, right? Number one is Bob Proctor, okay, one of the best personal development coaches out there.
Okay.
And then his mentee, Alex Morton. So, you know, because here's the thing with trading, you have to have the proper mindset, because a lot of people will trade on emotion as well, right? So to have that kind of like all inclusive on one website is great. And then also every week there's team calls, there's marketing calls, there's free trading nights. So on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, we encourage people to go and invite people that might be interested in the opportunity, because it's free, right? People don't have to sign up. People don't have to be an active member. And it's the same thing with Alex Morton's personal development. Every other Monday, he does it for anyone. It doesn't have to be an active customer. It could be people that you know that are into personal development or want to know more about personal development, right? And so that's the best part about our platform, is like you get everything in one shot. And then, you know, people have been also learning about things like NFTs, right? So, you know, I bought a few digital horses that I've been breeding and racing, and it's because of this platform that I learned about NFTs and different projects. So those are the other really positive pros to the platform, right? Because a lot of people, they're like, oh, well, like, you know, why should I be paying so much? Well, you know, you're getting education, you're getting apps, you're getting, you know, Telegram group chats, personal development, marketing, all this kind of stuff, versus having a robot doing it for you or a YouTube guru doing it for you. And then the best part too that I actually wanted to mention
Yeah.
is, so when it's all said and done, right? Hold on. So the biggest question is, how do you get started, right? So like I said, it's normally 235. So ECX actually dropped to 235. Okay. So anyone who's
Okay.
interested in that is 235. If people want to do all the academies, like there's like go-getters or like, hey, I'm all in. This is what I did when I first started, is like I went all in and I did the elite package, right? So that's Forex,
Okay.
HFX, DCX, right? And then it's 275 monthly. But for the most people, they're going to start with one academy at a time, right? You can always swap out, right? Like let's just say, you start with Forex and you're like, and you see your brother winning way more on HFX, you can always swap, right? You don't have to stick with Forex or start a new account. So you can kind of always, take a little bite out
I have a
of it.
question.
Yeah.
What is that startup means called in FRX Academy? We can see.
Yeah. So basically what that is like the startup cost. So it's 235 USD to start, to sign up, subscribe, all that kind of stuff, right?
Okay.
And then there's a 175 monthly tuition, right? Think about this as like an online education of the financial markets, right?
Just like
So
school and college. Okay.
exactly, right? Like people pay for university, people pay for college, right? Thousands and thousands of dollars to get a piece of paper that they may or may not use, right? Like I know many people
Exactly.
that I went to university with, they got a random bachelor's degree or whatever, and now they're not even using that degree, right? So
Yeah. Same here.
right. So at least here you're learning skills that are going to help you, because let's be honest with ourselves, crypto is an up and coming things, right? Forex has been around for years and years and years, right? And a lot of places now are accepting crypto, right? Like I bought a condo last year in Dubai, and the guy was like, "How do you want to pay?" I was like, "Credit card, bank transfer, I don't know." He's like, "Do you want to pay in crypto?" I was like, "You pay in crypto?" Right? And then Domino's Pizza in Netherlands is paying people in crypto, right? There's athletes like Lionel Messi in soccer or Tom Brady in football that are getting paid in crypto, right? There's theaters and places that are accepting crypto as forms of payment, right? um there's even Bitcoin ATMs, Bitcoin banks. Like there's one 20 minutes away from me where you can
Yeah.
physically, here's $1,000, Mr. Banker, and then they put $1,000 into your crypto wallet, right? So it's crazy. And then so you see it's a 235 startup cost and then 175 tuition, right? But it's an ongoing tuition. It gives you access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to the apps, the educators, and so on and so forth, right? But the best
Okay.
part is, if you know two people that want to do this or want to make extra money, right? Because here's the thing, a lot of people are busting their ass off, working 40 to 60, 80 hours a week, right? Just to put food on the table, right? And I'm not saying don't do a job, but like, I would rather have more time with my friends and family than be working 80 hours a week, right? Like I've seen and heard people, right, that are working anywhere from 40 to 60 hours, right? I would rather help people, go down to part-time or quit their job so that they can spend more time with their friends and family and for themselves even, right? So with the two people, right, let's just say your brother and your cousin sign up, your next month is free, right? And it's the same thing
Okay.
for your brother, for your cousin, whatever. Because my goal is to help people get their monthly subscription waived, whether it's through this 2 and free scholarship, whether it's through profits, a mix of both, or the company paying for your subscription. What does that mean, right? So when you
That's
have
cool.
3 or more people in the platform, right, you're now considered an independent business owner within our platform, right? What does this mean? So every country differs, but basically, in Canada, you can write off things like rent, car, gas, internet, phone, all this kind of stuff, right? So each country, you would have to talk to a specific accountant in order to know what you can and cannot write off. But these are things that people are already paying for anyway, right? So you might as well get something back in return during your tax season, right? And then
Okay.
basically what this means is, okay, with 3 people, you're now making 150 USD every month without trading, without doing anything. You just help 3 people that you love, trust, care, and respect, right? Get started.
That's nice.
There you go, right? And the best part is it doesn't even have to be people that you know, right? Like, look at us. We didn't know each other until today, right?
Yeah,
But
right.
because the cold market is actually your best friend. Your social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it is going to be your best friend, right? And there's marketing nights where people show each other their techniques and creativity, right? It could be a flyer on Canva. It could be the QR code that we talked about at the beginning of the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Or doing polls on Instagram, right? And that's how you're going to attract people because, you know, like I said, crypto and NFTs are huge things. So if we can help people make multiple streams in one shot, they're probably going to listen to you, right? Because NFTs,
Exactly.
which are non-fungible tokens, right, are an up and coming thing, right? Like I bought a Spider-Man comic a couple months ago for $7. It's now worth over $1,000, right? So if we help people make multiple streams, it's perfect, right? I'm not saying that's going to happen all the time, but like, you know, the more you plug in, the more you're going to get out, right? Then Platinum 600, which is usually what the goal is within the first 2 months for the go-getters, right? This is 12 people in your team, right? And here's the best part about this, right? Let's just say you bring in your brother, your cousin, and your mom, okay? If they bring in 3 people, you now have 12 people in your organization, but you only brought in 3 people, right? And now you're getting paid 600 USD a month, 150 every Friday. So every Friday you get paid out your residual. Okay. You don't have to wait. Some people wait bi-weekly. Some people wait 4 months.
Means there's no limit for team.
No,
Unlimited team there.
there's no limit in how many people are on your team. There's no limit on anything like that. And the best part about this is like, let's just say you start, obviously you've started after me, right? If you know a lot of people, you can outrank me, right? You can,
Okay.
you know what I mean? Because in a pyramid, right? You would never be able to outrank me, right? Because I brought you in, I'm always going to be here, you're always going to be here. And then whoever else you bring in is here, right? But here's the thing.
Understood.
I've started 2 or 3 years after some people and I outranked people, right? Because here's what happens is you have to have 3 legs that are equal, right? Which I'll show you in the next slide. But basically, if you know a lot of people, you can smack through this compensation plan, right? Where I'm at is Platinum 1000, right? So that's 30 or more people on your team, okay? What this means is like I get paid every Friday $250 USD just for helping 30 people, right? And again, like I said, I didn't even bring in 30 people myself. It's just like a team effort, right? Because if you help other people, right, naturally it's going to help you, okay? And then my next rank is Platinum 2000, so 75 people or more, right? So that means every Friday, I'm going to start getting paid 500 USD, right? And you can see up to the top, right? Yesterday, we had a leadership call, where a Chairman 25 and crypto educator got on the call with us, right? And he makes $6,250 every Friday just for helping 1,250 people, right? So you mentioned to me earlier that you have about, let's just for argument's sake, say 1,000 people, right?
Okay.
You're almost going to be a Chairman 25, making $6,250.
$250 a week, sorry.
Oh, every Friday, right? And that's not including bonuses. That's not including trading, nothing.
It's only the capital that I get to refer someone.
Yeah, so if you help 1,250 people, you're making $6,250. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
You complete your discussion, that I will tell you about my team.
Yeah, hold on one sec. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, we have actually 6 lakhs people of team in Pakistan. Who actually invest totally different type of thing. It's not a package we buy we invest and we earn a profit monthly in US dollars. Everything in